Hello friends, welcome to Pro Talent and I'm Nitin Parmar. My dear students, CAT का रिजल्ट आ चुका है. IIM के एडमिशन्स अब चालू हो जाएंगे. इंटरव्यू के प्रोसेसेस अब चालू होंगे. अब इन IIM के इंटरव्यूज़ के अंदर ज़्यादातर कुछ स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं और उन्हीं स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चंस के अंदर कैसे सोचना और आपके आंसर्स में क्या क्या कॉमन चीज़ें होनी चाहिए is what I am going to discuss today. My dear students, you are most welcome to be part of Pro Talent and we are helping students to be you can say ready for all the interview related preparation. ठीक है, in case you need any of our personal support, we can help you out with it. Okay, so don't hesitate, don't miss out on it. Okay, now the important part is in this MBA interview preparation, the most critical factor in any interview which you are going to appear for, whether it is IIM interview or whether it is non-IIM top B school interview or even the B schools which are middle level or the lower level, this is going to be the most fundamental question, that is introduce yourself. You may be wondering, how do I prepare for it? Now I'm sure all of us are aware that how do I need to prepare? That is, I know I need to talk about my family background, I need to talk about my educational background, I need to talk about my work experience, my extracurricular activity, my hobbies and interests. This is what I have to talk about. I'm sure everyone knows this. But in today's session, I will declutter those factors that you have to talk about in your introduction, which will give you lot of advantage, and more importantly it will also tell to the examiner, that is the interviewer, lot of thing about you, that you are prepared and you are, you can say, telling good information. Let's start to understand. As we know that introduce yourself is the most important opportunity provided to you by the examiner, and this is one of the best opportunity in each and every interview. If you are going to take maximum benefit out of it, you are going to get benefit out of it. Simple. Okay, great. So what should I include? To put in a very simple way, you must include first and foremost thing about your educational qualifications. Remember, you are going for one more academic program, and that academic program will be dependent on your past academic program, and that is the eligibility, and that is the most fundamental thing which you have to talk about. Your educational qualification. I will qualify that particular front in a minute. Then you talk about, in case you have your work experience. Okay, that is what you are going to talk about. Then you are going to talk about your family. And then you are going to talk about your extracurricular activity or co-curricular activity. And then you are also going to talk about your hobbies or your interest. Okay, that is the first thing you are going to work on. Now, what you should focus on? Remember, the educational qualifications and the work experience which we are talking about, okay, these two areas are defining your maturity about how do we take our life. It will show that how grown up as an adult you are. Do you really understand the society in a broader way? Do you really understand that why do you want an MBA based on your work experience, based on your educational qualification? Some of you may not have work experience, but educational qualification is must for everyone, and that's the eligibility. That tells that what did you learn. Okay. Now, how do I portray my maturity? How do I portray the skills which I have gained through my educational qualification and the knowledge which I gained in my educational qualification? My dear students, you must define that, look, which kind of program you have completed and what did you learn from it. And not just, you can say, subjects which you learned it. You must talk about those subjects, that is important. But in addition to those subjects, you also need to focus about some philosophical connection with respect to your learning. So it is very important that you philosophize your educational qualification. Okay, very important. What do you mean by philosophize? You try and connect why it was very crucial point in your life's career, okay, or in your career. That's the meaning. Is that very clear? Great. Talking about your family, it will show your values. What values do you possess? This is a wonderful opportunity to introduce your family and what did you learn from it, how it has given you certain kind of habits, certain kind of values, what are right things for you, what are wrong things for you, what is good, what is bad for you, is what the family will talk about. Your extracurricular activity, your co-curricular activities will help examiner to identify that how well you are managing yourself as an individual, as a human being. We all are pressurized with a lot of work. And how do we remove those pressure? By participating in varieties of the activities. In what way you participate? And what is the kind of drive you are able to show to the examiner? The drive towards your life, the drive towards your own personality is what defined here in extracurricular and co-curricular activities and your hobbies as well. I hope this is very clear. So my dear students, in your introduction, you are going to talk about this important parameters. Let me put in a very simplified manner to give you certain, you can say, qualifier or certain tangible items. Your introduction should be in 50 to 60 seconds. It will definitely begin with your name and you talk about you are coming from which city, or you come from which kind of family background, or you can talk about your educational qualification first. So you may possibly take this first and then possibly talk about your family later. That is okay. When you talk about your educational qualification, there is no need to mention about your school, but to mention about the board, or there is need to mention about your university. Now, when you mention about your board and when you mention about your university, it gives, we can say, proper information to the, we can say, examiner, because examiner doesn't know the name of your school and how important that school could be. But when you say I am from CBSE board, or I am from ISC board, or I am from IB board, or I am from, let's say, state board, the examiner will be in a position to understand. Okay, whatever is your, you can say, development. Okay, so that is very important. Okay. Then you can mention about your work experience. When you talk about your work experience, remember one important point. Just mention whatever is provided to you in your JD, that is in your job description. You have to talk about your designation and then what are your roles and responsibility as per JD. Remember this. If you try and add lot of, you can say, additional responsibilities which you think, which you are taking care of, okay, you can possibly mention about it, that's not a trouble, but you have to understand that, look, this is a very sincere and serious talk. Then they will actually check your, you can say, appointment letter, and then they want to see whether the given role is, you can say, connected to you, you can say, the kind of qualification or the kind of role you have been provided or not. And that's why you have to stick to job description. Then you can mention some important part. What did you learn from your organization? The key learning from your organization is very crucial. You can also mention about some internship, some seminar, or the project which you have done in your graduation. Then briefly move towards your interest and hobbies. And at the end, before you conclude your introduction, give this one line to the interviewer, that why you are interested in this college for your MBA program. Make sure that you mention that. Is that very clear? So this is all about your introduction. I hope this introduction part, this introduction video, that is how to prepare introduction, will definitely help you to score maximum in your examination. If you like this video, make sure you put that like button subscribe our channel and tell to large number of people to be part of Pro Talent. Thank you and all the best.